All right. So the first thing I want to talk about, first of all, I want to thank all of you for attending. It's a first step to probably what you're looking to do is get some additional information so that you can grow personally, maybe professionally as well. And so the first thing I want to talk about, and also this is kind of a little bit of an open discussion, but I want to keep it to an hour. So I might cut you off. It's not to be trite or anything, it's just to move things along. So the first thing I want to talk about is mindset. One of the things that when I went to this conference in Arizona with Brendan Bouchard, one of the things that rang really true to me is I was finding myself in a little bit of a rabbit hole going down that negative, right?
We saw it. I saw it. I don't know if anyone.
Yeah.
I saw it.
You get that's awesome. I'm glad. I'm glad that you acknowledge that because it's not who I am. It's not who I have been. And the problem with the challenges that I've had in the past year, personally and professionally, were very challenging for me. On top of that, all the noise that is in the marketplace that we see day in and day out, our clients, they're upset with you, or they're upset with me, they're upset with the company because their house isn't selling, or the deal didn't go the way they wanted to, the phone calls, maybe from attorneys, or whatever the case may be. And you would come to me, and you were challenged, and it was very challenging overall, not only for you, but for me. And so one of the things that I want to do and help you achieve, is hopefully go put your minds in the same direction where my mind is going. And it's a very positive direction. I came out of there, I don't know if you noticed, when I'm talking about it, I'm like charged up, I'm excited about the future. And at a time when a lot of people aren't necessarily charged up about the future. I am. There's endless opportunities. I've been in this business for 30 years. And I've seen good times and I've seen bad times. But I've always been motivated. And there's always been opportunities in the marketplace for you to earn a great living and to be able to represent your clients in these transactions. But you got to have a great mindset in order to do that. Now, one of the things that I picked up on is having a positive mindset is a learnable thing. Have you ever wanted to? Hey guys, have you ever wanted to learn something? Right? You were maybe it's studying for a test, and you read something over and over and over so that you can learn it, right? So that when it came to the point where you needed that information, you can be able to share it with confidence. It's almost like a listing presentation. It's one of those things that you want to get great at, and to be able to present your value proposition and present the company value proposition. So you practice, right? Over and over and over again. Well, the same thing applies to developing your mindset, and a positive mindset. It's something that you can recall. So when you're in that moment, when you're having that negative thought, you got to stop yourself. Okay, stop yourself in the tracks and take that moment and turn it into a positive. Does anyone have a negative that they've recently experienced and you would like to share recently in a transaction, maybe?
Are you kidding? How about me?
Okay, what about you? What about you?
Well, first, before I have like 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
So,
30 seconds over.
talking about what Michael says, change, think positive. So my mother-in-law, who's 92, who's a very spiritual person, she told me many years ago, and I always think about that. And she always said to me, change the way you look at things and things will change. So if you change, do you understand? So that's kind of, but transaction, so here's,
It's a way dialogue.
yeah. So I have clients that I've met in 2006, few transactions, they had hardships, rented them a house. They called me a couple of months ago and said, okay, I think we're gonna get now pre-approved, and we filed and we're ready to buy. And we saw this house and we want your opinion and we wanna decide what we're gonna do. Great. So we go look at and I said, who'd you see the house with? They said, well, the listing, we called and the listing agent showed it to us, and, but we obviously want you to represent us. I said, well, did you sign anything? No, nothing. Great, so we go see the house. House is a big challenge. I said, and they really want it. I said, tell you what, how about we find out what you really don't want? And I'll show you houses that are done, remodeled, blah, blah. So we went to see 7 houses. Make a long story short, I write an offer, we go through well inspection, this inspection, that inspection, the whole, we drive to Mondaline 20 times. At the closing, I don't get paid.
She didn't show it, right?
Procuring costs.
Because so now they're trying to prove that they were the procuring cost because they showed the house once. And they were the listing agent, okay? And how many times we show houses and then the buyer brings I do it all the time.
Did the listing agent give them that ministerial access?
No, the listing
Yeah,
agent,
yeah,
they
so
said
they gave the notice of no agency.
So when my client looked at
But
it,
that's okay.
it says no agency as far as she was concerned. Her husband never signed it, never even knew that she signed no agency. He was not even aware. He was in a house looking around. She said, as far as I was concerned, so they're very upset, obviously. I never got paid at the closing.
Right, but,
So Michael,
But-
when the listing agent gives that form,
It's a
doesn't
no-
that
there's,
give-
no,
That
no,
doesn't-
there's
It
so,
doesn't-
anyways,
It's
it
very
doesn't mean
ambiguous.
procuring costs. Wait a second, let's stay
Okay.
focused here,
Okay,
okay?
yeah.
So, procuring cause is the uninterrupted chain of events that led to the sale. Buyers go out, they look at homes, they drive
That's right,
around,
that's
they
right.
looked at the house with the listing agent, they gave them a notice of no agency, they're like, great, I don't have an agent, I have an agent, so they're saying, I represent the seller. So
Right.
in their mind, this is where they're at, okay? They call Marina up, after one visit and 2 emails, they're claiming procuring costs. Now, 3 weeks have transpired before she's showing them other properties, she's taking them around, there's been an interruption. And so, at the end of the day, it's up to the panel, it's up to us to demonstrate that we're procuring cause, not the listing agent. But the thing is, and what Marina's very frustrated with, is that the listing agent took that position that they were procuring cause and are claiming commission, and when in effect, there's a lot that happened and that they're aware of and they're still claiming it. We'll get through that, but, and I told Marina, and talk to the client and explain the circumstances, but you gotta have a positive outlook in this whole situation, and having the right team to support you and the right company that will support you is critical in these things. But one of the things that you have to, going back to what I was saying is, you have to put your mind back in a positive place. When you have these negative experiences or challenging experiences in your life, again, in a professional or personal way, you have to be able to turn it around at a moment's notice. Because people want to be around positive, optimistic people. Okay? Positive attitude and being a positive person attracts other people. People want to be around it, right? You don't want to be around negative people. You want to be around positive people that will enlighten your life. And so, going back to how I feel and what I'm going to do is, one of my goals and what I've laid out to do is to be able to help you grow professionally and personally, hopefully. Hopefully that's one of the byproducts of this. We have an amazing office with such a brain trust. It's unbelievable. And so often we have the ability to go to one another to help us through it. If you see, and I've seen it happen, I've seen somebody kind of long in the face, and you've gone up and said, you know, how you doing, what do you need, I see something's challenging, let me know how I can help you. Whatever that looks like, you guys are there for one another. And that's why we have such an amazing office. But going back, this is something, mindset, positive mindset is a learnable trait. And so it's something that you have to be practiced in a repetitive way and then recall it when necessary. So moving forward, one of the things that was a takeaway for me also is to have focus in what you do in practicing real estate. And you know, I want you guys to be able to finish up the year in a really strong way and prepare yourselves for next year. And what I'm going to talk about next can be, obviously, I want you to implement immediately, but to be able to carry it through for the next year. All the next few items. And so one of the things is talking about the core three. What are the core three things that helped your career last year? Maybe it was your phone calls, whether it was prospecting, whether it was networking. I want you to take one moment and write down 3 things that helped you with your success last year. Take a moment.
Michael reads minds.
Let me know when you have all 3, just raise your hand. There was 3 things that you did. Maybe it was activities, maybe it was marketing, maybe it was networking, whatever it was. Does everyone have them? No? Okay. It's interesting, it's kind of tricky, huh? That's the ambulance. It's for all the complainers. You guys ready? Ready? All right, now, I want each of you to take real quick, tell me one thing that, from your list of 3.
Partnering with people that have more knowledge so you can focus on other things and learning from them, and trying not to do everything yourself, because if you try and do everything yourself, you're not going to get it done.
Awesome.
My past client relationships.
And I am networking.
Advertisement.
No negative thoughts, always pushing for my goals.
I think associate myself with people who know better.
Prosper.
Marketing, farming.
Referrals from prior clients.
Referrals from past clients.
I had a real positive attitude and I made things work. Very challenging.
Awesome.
And it just kept me going.
Michael.
Volunteering, making connections.
Jason.
Plan your work your plan.
Angela.
Following up with sphere of influence.
Ellen.
And keeping in touch with my sphere.
Assisting other agents with their needs.
Marketing. So, you know, that's one thing. There's 3 things. The one thing that I want you to do and really focus on is take 1 hour extra a day and do those 3 things. You can take, 20 minutes for each one. You could, spend 40 minutes on one and 10 on the other 2. Whatever that looks like. You need to spend 1 hour a day more. on very focused activity, these 3 focused activities, and really drill in, laser focus, and work on those. Because those are things that already work, right? Why not do more of it? So take 1 hour a day and really spend a lot of focused time and work on those. The other thing that I want to talk about is significant growth rule. So one of the other things that we talked about at the seminar was to evaluate what you've been looking at doing this coming year. Okay, write down 3 things that you thought about doing that you haven't done or you're not doing right now that to help you grow your business. That will give you significant growth. 3 things that you want to try. Maybe you have 10. You know, things like joining an organization like BNI or LitTip, or launching a new ad campaign, or some of you might be interested in, you know, there's different aggregators that sell leads, or whatever that looks like to you. One, you know, write down, you know, couple, 2, 3, and let's talk about that for a moment. Do we need, all right, I'm out, okay.
It's a firm table.
Yeah. There's been dancing's had right here?
Deutsch has been up there.
Yeah.
Rocking it.
Uh-oh. Being recorded.
That's all right.
Gotta have blackmail.
All right, let's just hear a few. Jason, what are you gonna do next year that will help you get to, you have some additional significant growth?
Is to consistently launch my brand. Like I have a great vision and I have great stories, but I realized that I'm not consistent with it, so I'm not able to grow at the rate I like to.
Okay.
So I have to have the branches coming off of that to understand what I have to do daily, thus plan your work your plan, and be
execute
consistent with it.
Yes. Awesome. Robert.
Door knocking, be active in the neighborhood.
Door knocking in the neighborhood. Marina.
Stay more connected with my past clients, because those are the people who have free leads.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, statistically, 70% of your business comes from your sphere, your past clients.
Totally.
So, maybe more.
I thought it was 80.
Yeah.
That's the term I always heard.
Yeah, it could be more, but you know, it depends on, everyone is a little different. And I've, if you look at people that do a lot of marketing, like Martha May, for example, she does a lot of direct marketing campaigns, and she has a lot of her business, much of her business are new leads. So it depends, everyone's a little different. Anyone else? Elaine, what are you gonna do next year?
I still want to kind of explore this website thing. I don't have my own. I don't know if
Okay.
it's worth having it or not. I don't know. I have to kind of think on that.
Good. And so don't forget, when you have these ideas and concepts, that we can sit down and strategize and bounce these ideas off of one another and talk about it, and you know, a lot of these amazing thoughts just come out of thin air. You know, it's pretty cool. So when you sit down and have these discussions, you know, we talked the other day with Justin, Kevin, and I, and you know, we're just coming up with strategies and ideas, and you start talking, and you're like, yeah, and then but what happens if you do this or do that and add that? It's a lot of fun too, right? You have this great team again here. Does anyone have Moxie? Okay, awesome. Moxie Works should be, I would tell you, your number one item to initiate. Okay, it's critical. It's a proven commodity. It's a proven commodity. You know, they've used this on the East Coast. It's a single sign-on. This is everything that we've talked about, dreamt about. Okay, but you got to take the time. You know, an hour in the morning, maybe an hour at night or whatever, to put the system in place and to become familiar with it. And so it's a proven tool for you to help you have significant growth. You know, the East Coast obviously was developed there. The company that started it, the brokers that within that organization have seen, I think it was 35 or 38%. It's a huge number, percentage of growth that they've had in their business. But you got to get into it. You got to develop it. You have to work hard to get it up and running. It's a transaction management platform as well as a CRM. I don't know. Sounds crazy to me. It's awesome.
Is it just our company, or is that?
So Moxie, there are various elements like Present, for example. There are a couple companies that have Present as a tool within their company. To the best of our knowledge, no one in the marketplace has the full suite of tools and resources. The company made a significant investment in rolling out the whole suite of tools and resources. And so we're very lucky, you know, we're fortunate that we have this available, and that we have people that will help you get it going. And it's very intuitive. If you spend time going in there and adding and changing and doing, but if you want a one-on-one, okay.
That that CMA is awesome.
Yeah.
I send it out a couple of, I just sent one yesterday. It's amazing, because they see everything just on their computer.
Yeah. And there isn't a competitor. So the competitor, that what they have is, like Michael said, the CMA, but they're not using it. They really aren't. I've sat down with agents who are at the competitors that have those tools, and they're like, we don't use it. Why would we use it? Because they never trained on it. They never put it into part of their business. It was an amazing tool.
Competitors do
Have
Present.
the CMA, the Present.
Just Present.
Okay, there's not a competitor that'll have what we have. They won't have the CRM, the CRM, the
suite.
Present, but the suite of it is all of the tools that you've already used. Your marketing resource center, all of those. What makes it unique to our company is how they tied it all together and put it in one platform. So you log on to Cabernet Corner, you click the Moxie button, and everything flows together. Okay, what's great about the CRM, like Michael said, is it's everything rolled into one. It's your business plan. You put in what you want to make on GCI. You manage it. It keeps you accountable for your own actions. You're the ones who want to run your business your way. You can totally customize your passives. You can follow the tablet that's there already, or Angela's business is going to be different than Jerry's business. Jerry's business is going to be different than Robert's business. So you go in, you spend some time implementing it in the beginning, and it's totally, completely your own business model. And we'll spend all the time you need going through individually, one-on-one meetings, small group meetings, getting you in there. If you're not going to implement it, you're crazy. I'll just make it that plain.
The great, so what I love about it, and I just started using it, is all your past clients. So you have addresses of all your past clients, or your sphere, whoever, and they all want to know what's going on in their neighborhood. So if you add the neighborhood report to each person, I think.
They subscribe.
You subscribe them to, so everybody wants to know what's going on in where they live, right? So it comes into them, so you stay in touch with them, and also they see it, and it's interactive.
And also,
It's so really
just
cool.
listed,
Really
just
cool.
sold. Just listed, just sold postcard. So every time you do something, they'll get something automatically. I mean, you don't have to recreate an e-card and send it out and blah, 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 blah. Okay? It's done.
And it's free.
Done. And
It
it's
costs you
free.
nothing but your time to set it up.
So yesterday I did that Facebook, you were right, I had too much. So I listed this new property, and all of a sudden the Moxie, I want to go into Moxie, and it pops in, do you want to do advertisement on Facebook? And it's all created already, so it was for 5 days. It reached out, I don't remember how many thousands of people. It was $79. So it says new listing, or you can advertise the open house or whatever, and it was really cool.
So what's the difference between Moxie and HomeSnap that I've been starting to use to promote open
I think it's
houses and?
The
is it sort of the
direction
same?
in which it takes you right from that Moxie platform right to it. You don't have this one less step through HomeSnap. And then some of you have business pages which that Moxie's tied to. So it's just, it's one less
You guys
step.
have to make me
Yes,
wrap my
we
head
will,
around
we
it,
will,
please,
we will do it. We will do it, I promise you, we will do it.
Please.
We're gonna do it. And does anyone keep a journal? I used to keep a journal all the time, like what I did, what I ate for lunch, where am I going, who I
You
met.
had too much time on your
I
hands.
know, right?
That's always been his problem.
So I started again, and it's amazing, all the ideas that I've had or what I want to initiate, and all of you, right? If you ever get an idea and you're like, I gotta do that, and you forget about it, or you don't know which one to do first, or I don't know if anyone's had that problem.
Everyone says that, I mean, it's such a thing, and when you think about it, it's time consuming, but it is proven like one of the greatest breakthrough tools to use, but we don't do it. We're already programmed to not do it, right? Because we're burdened with so much stuff. I mean, I'm just telling you, if you take that second, you'd be surprised what it does for you. It's pretty cool.
It helped Kavanaugh,
Yeah,
the journal.
yeah. So, yeah, it really helped
That's the first thing that I thought, and I didn't want to say it.
Wait.
I tried to keep
All
it
right,
out.
let's go to the next one. All right,
That was
we're not
funny.
going political here, but that's awesome. But one of the things is to keep a journal and to keep your thoughts in one place and to write down your appointments. And you'd be amazed how if you track your time, as time goes on, you'll be able to have better time management skills also. All right, that's kind of what I'm finding out as well. But the other thing is keeping a track of all of the things that your ideas, right?
As an agent, it's also good for an IRS tax write-off, just so you know, mileage, all that stuff. And you're doing that in a journal. I mean, you have that on your phone, but I'm just letting you know, I mean, for a property that I manage, I got a $23,000 write-off from keeping a ledger. And that's
you
just
do it on
daily
paper?
ledger telling
Do
them.
you do it on paper?
Yeah,
or-
I do it on paper. I'm old school.
I do it on paper. You know.
It's something to think about. I mean, you'd be surprised what you get out of it.
But one of the things is you get all these ideas and there's all this noise out there and it's coming at you and you're trying to have focus and goes back to, are you spending an hour a day doing your core 3? Okay? Are you doing the things that you need to do for significant growth? Okay? Those are 6 things that every day that you should be focusing on, in addition to managing your clients, taking clients out, building more relationships, networking, all of those things, right? You have a lot to do. And so you want to, you hear about these new shiny ideas and thoughts, and you wanna initiate them, okay? If you can't, this is the 45-day quit rule. 45-day quit rule. If you have one of these ideas, and you cannot start it and get it launched within 45 days, okay, with the highest level of excellence, then table it. Put it off for 6 months at least. Focus on the things that work for sure. If you have extra time and you want to try to do something else new, or if you do something, one of your significant rule things that you, growth items that you want to initiate and it doesn't work, and then you can go back onto the shelf and pull that out, one of those other items, and insert that and try that.
Well, this sounds crazy, but I know like the journal thing I think can sound tough for some people because it sounds like it involves a lot. This is silly, but I have on paper all the time. This is funny because it says go getter on it, but it's like I always have one of these little guys, and so at any given time during the day, it always has my to-do list of all the different projects I'm working on. But if in the middle of the day I'm like, oh my god, I should call that one guy that I grabbed this because this is never not on me.
Right.
So it's like
See,
Be a
like I want to
baby
make
step.
it happen. My sister
Right,
bought this one.
exactly.
You know, make it happen.
So it's like a
Keep a
baby
journal.
step to doing a journal, but at least it tracks and it helps me.
Yeah. So it's a big deal. Keep a journal. Keep your thoughts. Keep your time. Actually, what I'd love for you to do is for the next week, journal every minute of every day. When you go to the laundry, go do that. When you go vacuum, do that. When you take a client out, write that down. When you go to the groomer, not yourself, but the dog groomer. Write that down. I think you would be surprised on how much time. We say we have no time, but I bet you'd be surprised at how much time you actually have. If each and every one of us, and some of us do, if we had to sit in an office every day from 9 to 5 basically, and we were accountable for certain activities to our employer, and you couldn't leave. If you work this job 9 to 5, just 9 to 5, I'm not talking about 9 to 10 and 9 to 5, I think you would be surprised at how much you could accomplish if your focus is on your business.
Right on time.
I think it would be really surprising because I did it. I was like, oh no, I wasted that time and that time and that time. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. And all of us want to have a successful career, right? We all want to have that purpose, right? To serve our clients and do a great job, right? We want to see significant growth for all of it, for our business. Is that correct? That's why you're here, right? So there are a lot of different things that you can do and things that we talked about. I want you to really internalize what we talked about today and start to put things in motion, starting off with mindset. Mindset is the most important thing you do. Have a positive mindset. And if you find yourself having a negative thought, turn it around. Stop yourself. Maybe you can meditate. You know, meditation, it was interesting. Before each speaker came out, every speaker, by the way, had so much energy. Like unbelievable. They were jumping up and down. They were singing, and they had these great songs, and they're like, come on, everybody, jump up and down. The reason why they wanted to do that is they wanted to get the group charged up, right? Get your energy up. And so exercise, fitness, eating right. I quit drinking. I did. I you know.
After the wedding.
After the wedding, 12 days ago. And because, you know, one of the things is that this is your vessel, right? This is all you get in life. You got to take care of this shit. Because if you don't,
No shit.
guess what, right? And so that's my first step. I want to exercise, I want to do yoga, I want to do this, I want to do that. But you can't do everything, right? It's too hard just to do everything all at once. I want to stop drinking coffee. It's not working out yet. But these are all the things that I know, and some of my things that I'm focused on in order to improve my life, to be a better coach, to be a better broker, to be a better mentor. I want to be the best for you, so that when you want to rise and build your business and grow your business, I have the answers. I'm educating myself every day. Every day I'm getting up and I'm writing things down, and I'm reading books, and I'm listening to YouTube and different speakers and ideas and thoughts, and some things that it might be a totally different content or reason. You know, it's non-real estate related, but I could relate it. I could bring it to you and share it with you and relate it to real estate. So with that, I want to open up the floor and talk about some of the things that you guys are experiencing and the pros and cons. You know, we have a lot of successes this past year. We've had 25 brokers that have had growth in the past 12 months. And we have another 10, actually 15 brokers that didn't have previous production for the previous 12 months, so that it's been a positive. I have this report. And so, it's pretty amazing when you see that many brokers in a particular office, especially right now, that have had the level of success that you guys have had. It's really awesome. So with that being said, though, I want you to be able to ask questions, share. We can learn from each other's experiences. Like Marina shared her experience with her property in Mundelein on Hickory, and the things that you experience, that if someone might say, well, I had something similar, this is how I worked it out. I want to be able to, you can open it, yeah. Does anyone have anything that they want to share or talk about? Yes, Jane.
One of the things that I found was very helpful as I just came back to the business after 4 years away is networking. And you know what I'm talking about. I went into a mattress store and bought a mattress one day. And I don't know how we got on the topic, but we got on the topic of real estate. And lo and behold, he and his wife have now signed up to be with Berkshire Hathaway. They're taking the classes, and we're gonna have 2 new agents in our office.
Really dynamic couple.
And not even in our area, which is even greater, because they can farm an area that not gonna be real competition with me.
Yeah.
But the company needs somebody in that area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's very dynamic. I hope you all will get a chance to meet him. He and his wife, not met his wife, and I go and I check on him. About once a week, I stop in the store. He said, I really like the fact that you're coming in to, keep tabs on me, to make sure I'm on focus. And has he talked to you at all?
Not recently, no.
Yeah.
But he's what a great guy.
Did he give you a free mattress?
I wish.
Yeah, really.
So they're gonna be selling both the mattress and the real estate?
I have go ahead, Brandy.
Well, I just, I try so hard to be, sometimes people are like, Brandy, calm down. I have a lot of energy. I've never been called quiet or shy, right? And, but I always try, I'm working with a client right now, and we were kind of running into a lot of getting their house ready was a little bit challenging. They have 4 kids, and I would go there every couple days. I'm like, all right, we got this. Okay. Oh my God, that's not done. And inside, I'm going, holy crap, that's not done yet. But I'm like, all right, we got this. We got this. And this was the text I got the other day when we were driving away. Your enthusiasm and attitude are infectious. And I'm like, dude, you just made my day. And that, I'm gonna remember that when I get down. I'm like, they feel that, it's emotional. We all know this. It's emotional, it's stressful for our clients. And when we're there saying, you got this, we got this, we'll roll with these punches. It works, and it's just so impactful.
Right.
It was nice to, like I said, that made my day. That's, it was something that I'll save and.
Right. But that positive approach to your business is infectious, and people want to be around it. They do. You don't want to get jaded in this business, and you don't want to get, it's just, and it's easy to do. And if you ever find yourself in that situation, obviously you come to me. You come to Kevin, but you have one another too.
Exactly.
That's pretty awesome. So anyone else?
I have a positive thing. So I went for a first time enlisting appointment where I walked in, and the guy said, what do you want me to do? And I told him, and he says, it's gonna be done in a week, where do I sign? For all these tough listings, I was like, really, and I did not bring, a listing packet, and thank God I had one in my car. Thank God.
That's a good tip, actually.
Let me tell you
That is a
something.
good
And
tip.
because usually you do present, and then they interview it, and then you gotta email them. He says, where do I sign? He signed everything. He told me it'll be done all in a week, and he'll keep me posted. I was like, oh my God, this is a gift for all the top ones, right?
Yeah, well, you go in with a level of confidence, and you're upbeat, and you're like, I can help you, and I'm going to take you through the process. And
No, I said hire a cleaning service. Don't clean yourself. Okay, put away all your shoes and paint the whole place.
And he goes, I love you.
I said, don't take it personally what I'm gonna tell you. I said, get rid of the garbage here and the,
That's hysterical.
that was a gift.
Another way is also to put a PDF on your iPads. You can meet somebody in Starbucks and do all the presentation there
Yeah.
in front.
So all the, yeah, and the presentation material is all is electronic too. And even the Cabernet book, the luxury book, and they're flip pages. So it looks like you're flipping a magazine. You know, it's done so well.
And use
And
the iPad Pro, the big one. Don't use the small one.
Yeah, it's too hard to see, the small
Yeah,
one.
and now they have a pen now. You can write a contract in front of it.
There you go. That's awesome. You know, you've had, I mean, there's been so many, like I said, it goes back. You've had growth, I mean, it's, the business is out there. The business is for sure out there. There's no question in my mind. I have an idea for you. Right now, everyone's marketing their listing, come see it, right? Everyone wants, or, you know, how great we are, we're marketing our listings and how great the homes are, right? Why isn't anyone marketing for buyers right now? Do you see buyers, advertising or videos saying, come work with me, I find, like,
Are there any buyers?
Did you? Yeah, see?
Are there any buyers out there?
But you know what's interesting is every video. It's like I put that little ad out yesterday and I boosted it on my amazing real estate page, and it said, I have over 200 brokers. They're all so talented. We have amazing deals. I'll match, the right agent, for you. And so, but start marketing buyers, right? We have plenty of listings, and we don't have many buyers. But get out there and talk about why they should come work with you. Or if you come with, if you work with me, this is what you can expect, as a buyer, right? I think it's kind of crazy when you think about it, and it's outside the box because everyone is doing everything else to promote their listing or to try to get listings.
Well, I can give you a tip that I've used through the years and it really works for me really well. And I just did it a couple of weeks ago. So when you do open house and you meet people and they kind of reluctant to be a buyer, but if you ask them exactly what they're looking for, and if they find some that are for sure, and sometimes it's a subdivision, and I just did it, I've done it before and got them properties, but I just did it for this couple, and they were very specific what street they wanted to be in Northbrook and what type of a house. I sent out, so I pulled from tax records, I sent out 30 letters. Cost me nothing. I mean, 30 letters, it's, and I can show you a letter, and it's a really nice kind of folder. It says, looking for a home just like yours, and I got a phone call. This particular is not gonna work for them, but what I'm saying is, there's people, and they will call you, and I've sold home, like Royal Ridge, I sold a couple of years ago to my client, a buyer. She was very specific where she wanted, and it works. People call you, and they will, then you may get a listing and a buyer, or you just sell it to a buyer, whatever.
Kevin
It
had
really
a great
does
idea.
work.
It's kind of along the same lines when we were talking about networking with brokers and buyers.
Oh, I mean, where we're at right now, we were at the Webster meeting the other day, and we were talking about it, because everybody's, where are the buyers, where are the buyers, where are the buyers? We talk about prospecting so much for clients, for everything else. Where our business is going, there's no such thing as buyers. I think you need to prospect the brokerage community. Just network with agents in our office is great. You talk to everybody. Who do you have as a buyer? Where are they looking for things? Others, but talk to the competitors. The people in our marketplace and what they're looking for, and find out who's got a buyer and where their buyer's looking. Then in your journal, write down who's got what, and then try and piece it together. We have so many tools, whether it's tax record or Remind or all these other tools that people are using to find sell scores of people who are more likely to sell. Find the buyers and then find the house. If you can find people who have buyers, piece it together and start doing whatever you can to do it. So if you're spending an hour prospecting for clients of your own, spend 30 minutes prospecting the brokerage community on who has buyers, because they're holding on to them like gold, and that's the most value in our market right now.
So our marketing materials have this little thing called notes. So you can say, I've done it before, and that's what I'm gonna do it for someone in the next few days. So you can write out on the note, my buyer is looking for a home in Glenview, in whatever. this is specification, if you listing anything, please call me ASAP, okay? Send out through a marketing, you know, how we send out to flyers to all these agents that we're listing products, send them the same note asking for a house.
An e-card, yeah, it's a great idea.
And they will call you, cause they're gonna be listing something. So it's like, and also private, I've sold a lot of homes from private listings to my buyers. Because there's nothing on the market, I go into private listings.
Yeah, okay. Where's notes? Is that?
Like, you know how we
In the
send out
resource.
flyers, new listings, in the marketing?
In the resource center.
In the
Okay.
resource
Yeah.
center
It's an
online,
e-card.
on Cabernet Corner.
All right, so if you're gonna do an e-card, it's in,
Yeah.
and it's in there, it says notes?
It says, no, yeah, you can send flyer, but I mean, it says
All right, I
no.
have to-
It's a custom card,
All
is
right.
basically
Yeah,
what
I mean,
you're
it's
saying.
there, you just fill it, yeah, you just
I
fill
would
out
s-
what you wanna say.
Yeah, I would start, if you're gonna start, her comment on notes got me thinking about it. So if you're talking to brokers, everybody has their brokers in their phones. Everybody's loading everything to Moxie and they're taking the brokers out of Moxie. Okay, if you're marketing or if you're managing relationships with brokers, put them in your Moxie as a collaborator, okay? So when you're going through there on your phone, because the idea behind Moxie is I meet somebody, I put their contact in my phone, it shows up in my Moxie account. So if I'm meeting with whoever it is with Coldwell Banker, I can go into her thing, under notes on her contact, I can put as buyer for for 3-bedroom house at this price point. And it'll show up in Moxie and it'll keep track of everything, what you put in notes on your phone is gonna show up in your Moxie account. It's gonna show up in your email account, it's gonna show up in all of those. So if you're gonna start building your database, don't dump all those brokers. You can dump them to begin with and then build your relationship and start putting them together in groups of whatever you wanna do. But the idea is to keep all your things in one place. If you're doing that as part of your business, use the tools, because it's designed to go from your phone to your computer, to your Moxie account, to your tablet, everything's sucked into one place. So no matter where you go, it's there.
Can we all load all the agents of Glenview in that Moxie?
You can load all the people in the whole community if you want to.
Someone downtown, one of our brokers has how many people in their contact?
Oh, I met with a couple of agents on the Randolph, they put in 28,000 people in the Moxie.
28,000 people.
28,000. And their idea behind that is because they're not gonna manage each one of them but they want them to get all their just listed, just sold postcards. They wanna subscribe them to the market, neighborhood market watch and things like that, the free subscription.
They have all high-rise buildings.
They have they have a lot of their emails, and then they were gonna go through and contact the clients to get an updated list of emails.
And, because they're in an area where they're all high-rises.
Yeah.
You know, Randolph and Michigan Avenue area.
Right.
It's crazy. And they really dominate this area, and I know this will help them even more.
They're
It's
so
crazy.
excited about it.
Yeah. How about anyone else?
I have something to share. You know, I work multi-towns just like Marina, you know. I go to, for example, I have a listing in Hoffman Estates. I visit the Schaumburg office and get to know each of the agents there, whoever is there, even say hi to the manager, even though you don't know her or she doesn't know you. And yesterday, this week, I got a referral from one of the agents in Schaumburg. Because I said I speak Chinese, you know, they're
Yeah.
looking for Chinese speaking agents.
You speak Chinese?
Yeah.
See that?
I can
There you go.
understand.
Next to me.
But I can understand also when Oriental, you know, Asian people that are very hard of English, I understand what they're saying, kind of. So I saw one of our listings before with another of our agents, Sandra France. She referred to me. It was a Korean buyer, but I put it all together. We sold the property.
Good. That's awesome. How about anyone else?
Did you keep her commission?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
In-house.
Brandy?
Well, I think that idea of networking though goes, I mean, I hope that this isn't the wrong thing to say, but beyond even just Berkshire, I mean, I have coffee with agents.
Well, that's what Kevin was saying.
Regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, or even just touch point, when I've called them about a listing, or, I mean, like when I had the ginormous one on Indian Hill, I mean, I made a lot of personal phone calls for that, and created some good rapport, so now I can call somebody from the Redka, wherever.
Right.
And just keeping that.
They know you.
Keeps
It's,
you going,
it's more comfortable. It's a lot easier to negotiate or put people, you know, to put the deal together.
Well, and then I found myself, I had buyers, and I found there was kind of several people in the mix, And that agent literally came around and was like, dude, I love you, we gotta make this work, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Right.
For buyers.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So the takeaway